Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers. Welcome to another Reader's Magnet featured author interview. And we are currently live in all our streaming platforms that's YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. My name is Rob, and I'm your host for today. And together with me right now is one of Reader's Magnet featured authors who studied mathematics and computer science at the Southern Illinois University and shares his system thinking critique of American society with his vision of a future where humans have evolved to become Gnostic beings free from every grief and pain that comes from all evil. The author of the book, Let the Playing Field Level the Playing Field, and to explain away a world of illusion, please welcome Mr. Dennis Joyner. Mr. Dennis, how are you feeling today?
Feeling fine.
Awesome. Good to hear that. So, Mr. Joyner, for a lot of our viewers here who might be curious, can you please show us your book and tell us what is it all about?
Sure. Okay, this is Let the Playing Field Level the Playing Field. And what the book is about is that we should know by now that our leaders, people in authority, will not level the playing field. But the playing field will be, you can either refer to it in a metaphysical or supernatural way, or basically through God's intention. The playing field will level itself.
Hmm. Awesome. Awesome. Really like that. But Mr. Joyner, one quick question though. So again, with the book that you have though, what was the what inspired you to push through and publish that book though?
Well, there's always been this concern about having a level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to this audio book about these Indians in Mexico were playing this running game where the field that they were is a kicking a ball on
Okay.
the on that was the game to see who could finally get to the end and kick the ball across the goal. So the playing field itself was self it was self handicapping in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that the slower runners, the smaller players would get a chance to kick the ball because
Mm-hmm.
the field had rocks and trees and branches and roots and that
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. So the ball would hit those and bounce toward these type players, the smaller players or the slower players, so they would get a chance. So the self-handicapping aspect of it, I was inspired by that. So how could the American uh, political, social, economic playing field be leveled? And I thought about it, and I came to understand that it could be leveled through scientific innovation and development and through technology over time. And that's what's happened throughout human history is these scientific developments. You can go back to Galileo. You can,
Mm-hmm.
um, of course, there's Einstein. Then you have television. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's occurred over human history, and each time it's had a significant impact on society.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's really
Also,
yeah.
in addition, you have epic phenomena that you can't anticipate or envision. So we've had like these world wars. We had World War II, which was a economic phenomena that changed American society and had to address the issue of discrimination, racial discrimination in our society. Because how could you fight for freedom around the world when you were had discrimination at home?
Mm, well, really love the insight, and The inspiration for that, it really cuts down deep, though. I gotta give that to you, Dennis. But looking at it right now, Dennis, from the moment that you realize about what's wrong with America, was there any change that happened from the moment you realized that there's something wrong with today's standards? Like, was there any change that happened recently?
Well, today is incredible how wrong things are. You
Mm.
don't know what a woman is.
Oh,
You
okay.
you're teaching critical race theory in your schools to perpetuate racism in our society. Um, you have no uh, the quality of our leaders has deteriorated to an astonishing low level. Uh, I mean, it's obvious to anyone that Joe Biden is not cognitively fit or even physically fit to govern this country, let alone be a world leader. So, and I would say since probably Richard Nixon, we haven't had a um, qualified person in the Oval Office in the White House.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I do appreciate your insights for that, Dennis. Like, but would you think that here, just one quick question though that I want to throw in here. So do you think that it always boils down to American citizens on who we choose as our leaders? Or are we being brainwashed? What do you think is the case that why we put people up there that who do we think is we might be having some problems when it comes to them being physically to govern as what you've said. Basically.
Well,
So yeah.
the American people are definitely being brainwashed or gaslighted, whatever term you
Mhm.
want to use. The government has two apparatus that they use, an ideological apparatus and a coercive apparatus. And the coercive, you see the coercive
Mhm.
apparatus in effect in how Donald Trump is being treated. I mean, with the justice system and Congress itself, when the Democrats were in control and impeachment, two impeachments, uh, several committees, the January 6th committee. Okay, and then you have the justice system itself. But and then
Mhm.
the ideological apparatus, it has gotten extremely bad with the major, news.
Hmm.
Uh, it's totally, biased, one way or the other, and it's not just misinformation or disinformation.
Mhm.
It's it's just totally brainwashing the American people.
Hmm. Okay. Well, interesting. Well, but Dennis, going back to your book though, so can you tell me, so what is your book really advocating and what is it and why is it so important to you?
Well, what it's advocating is that what I've all what
Yeah,
I've
sure.
just mentioned is
Yes.
evident that our politicians and uh, leaders in other areas, say the networks, what they present on television, and even some of the authors that are writing books that want to address some of the issues or the problems, they're not getting to the root um, problem, cause of
Mhm.
why things are the way they are.
Hmm.
And so you basically have two aspects. There is, as far as evolution and having things get better, it can be done by man or people uh, where they can take action to change things and make them better, or it can just be the natural uh, order of nature, God, however you want to refer to it, that things will get better. So far, it's been the latter has been the reason why things have gotten better. Uh, our leaders, they really haven't done very much at all to ensure that things would be better. So, but about the book. So the book, you need
Sure.
books that will enlighten people and uh, give them, some kind of edification, so that people see the key is for people to evolve and become better human beings. Um, that has been a very, very, very slow process. It hasn't been hardly any emphasis on that. We should have um, courses in our schools for critical thinking,
Hmm.
um, and how to um, be, logical reasoning,
Hmm.
and emphasis on that, and not on what they're doing now, talking about gender and race. That's where, so we really are going backwards in that regard as far as education goes. Uh, and really, obviously, the biggest problem is this whole business about race. Race is a social construct, there's no basis for it. But American society is based on race, based on something that's not real. It's not true. So you got a misconception that really dominates all your thinking, your beliefs, and pretty much most of the uh, actions that are taken by our government.
I agree. Yeah, I do agree with that. This like it's kind of an eye opening though, and I believe that this book really fit in with people who are really intellectually curious and those people who want to try to pick up and discover something new. And this is something though that we can really push forward with, but it's always up to the American citizens if ever they want to at least take that first step forward into getting that a real change though. Because again, basically, as what we have discussed here, everything that the American might be based off is basically an illusion that we are still holding on to. Like, I think true change would come in the future. I'm just not sure when, but hopefully it would happen. Do you agree with me with that?
Yes, I do.
Yes. Awesome. So, you know what, Dennis, I really love to talk more about this, but for the people though who are interested in getting a copy of Dennis Joyner, to all those intellectually curious people and those people who want to know the truth about the whole thing, please always make sure to get a copy of Dennis Joyner's book, "Let the Playing Field, Level the Playing Field," which is available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And you can also check updates from Mr. Dennis himself from the www.djoinerbooks.com. So Dennis, before we leave on though, is there any upcoming book that people should be aware about that you're writing right now?
Yes, the title of the book is The Turn,
Hmm.
and and it covers the last 75 years of and I will refer to it as American history from
Hmm.
the 1950s to the 21st century as it is today.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so for everyone who wants to keep it up though, always make sure to check Mr. Dennis's website, and also for if you want to learn more and ask him a few questions of your own, feel free to check out his live session at the www.thefestivalofstorytellers.com, where he will be having a live booth session this 2nd of February. And don't you worry, he'll keep you posted on his website. That is again www.djoinerbooks.com. You know what, Mr. Dennis? I really appreciate this. It was a pleasure having and hearing your insights, and it was really a mind-boggling and mind-opening message, though. I really loved it. Really, thank you to have you here, Mr. Dennis.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, okay. So for everyone there and the viewers, again, as we say here at Readers Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Have a good one.